Man United approach and talk to 3 managers' representatives. But Manchester United's end-of-season review could take a little bit of time. Erik Ten Hag's future at Manchester United is still undecided. United's board are holding internal meetings to review the Dutchman's future. The Red Devils have approached and spoken to representatives of managers like Tuchel and Pochettino. Erik Ten Hag is not out as Manchester United manager yet, despite the club approaching and holding talks with representatives of Mauricio Pochettino and Thomas Tuchel, Sky Sports journalist Domesh Sheth has told GiveMeSport. The Dutchman's future at Old Trafford is yet to be resolved, while the Man United board considers all possible options this week as they hold internal meetings to review Ten Hag's second season. Man United finished 8th in the Premier League last campaign, their worst result since the 1989-1990 season. Despite the FA Cup victory, speculation over Ten Hag's future gathered pace in recent days as United held meetings with other potential candidates' representatives. Before the final season showdown against Manchester City, United met with Ipswich Town manager Kieran McKenna's team, Sky Sports revealed. The 38-year-old was also linked with a move to Chelsea to replace Mauricio Pochettino, but eventually decided to stay with the Tractor Boys as they approached their Premier League return. United have also been linked with Pochettino and Tuchel, as well as former Brighton boss Roberto De Zerbi, who announced his departure from the South Coast side last week. Ten Hag's future is still up in the air. The club review of the season hasn't been completed yet. It remains to be seen if the FA Cup final victory changed the Man United board's mind about Ten Hag, who brought the Red Devils their second trophy in 2 seasons. Sheth tells GiveMeSport that Ten Hag may not be out of the job just yet, despite United holding talks about hiring his replacement. He said, "I know there's been lots of approaches and talks with representatives of various other managers. You've mentioned a couple there in Thomas Tuchel and Mauricio Pochettino, Kieran McKenna as well, who is now staying at Ipswich. But that doesn't necessarily and automatically mean, simply because they are speaking to other managers, that Erik Ten Hag is out of a job. Because this review is going to take a little bit of time, they need to have a contingency plan and a plan in place if they decide that Erik Ten Hag is not the right person for the job." Ex-Bayern coach Tuchel has been vocal about his admiration for the Premier League recently, saying he felt more appreciated during his time at Chelsea. According to Fabrizio Romano, the German manager is on the shortlist to replace Ten Hag if the Dutchman were to be sacked. Man United are confident on Olise and Branthwaite deals. Ineos are ready to splash out £100 million on the Premier League duo. Manchester United are confident they can sign Crystal Palace winger Michael Olise and Everton defender Jeremie Branthwaite this summer, TalkSport have revealed. The Red Devils are yet to make their first signings ahead of the new campaign and could secure the duo for around £100 million. Palace value Olise at around £60 million, while Everton's financial woes could see Branthwaite leave for as low as £40 million in the upcoming transfer window. Man United haven't made internal decision on Ten Hag. Manchester United could be looking to appoint a new manager in the near future, and Fabrizio Romano has provided an update. Manchester United yet to finalise review of Erik Ten Hag's season, with mixed feelings internally. Majority of United fans support Ten Hag staying, especially after the FA Cup final victory. Thomas Tuchel is a front-runner to replace Ten Hag at United, with the club confident in his ability to manage seasoned players. Reports have suggested that Manchester United could be looking to find a replacement for Erik Ten Hag, and Fabrizio Romano has now provided an update on the situation, confirming that the club are yet to complete their review of the season. Erik Ten Hag has been at the helm of United for almost 2 years, during which he has managed to win 2 trophies. However, the club's performance in the Premier League this season was its worst in 34 years, finishing in 8th place and missing out on European football. A report from The Guardian before the FA Cup final suggested that Ten Hag was set to be sacked regardless of their result against Manchester City. The situation is reminiscent of the case of Louis van Gaal, who was sacked by Manchester United in 2016 just days after winning the FA Cup. Man United yet to complete Erik Ten Hag review. No formal communication has been made. Writing in his daily briefing, Italian reporter Romano has confirmed that United are yet to complete their review of the season under Ten Hag, and there are mixed feelings internally. The Dutch tactician is yet to be informed of a decision, while the Red Devils are speaking to a number of managers as it stands. We're still waiting for Manchester United to complete the review of the season. At the moment there are mixed feelings, and as previously reported, the fact that United have talked with a number of different agents of other managers makes it feel like there is a concrete possibility to part ways with Erik Ten Hag. But, at the same time, no formal communication has been made, and no internal decision that has been 100% confirmed has been made, so we're waiting for the season review to be completed and then Ten Hag will be informed about his future. A survey conducted by the Manchester Evening News showed that a majority of United supporters are in favour of Ten Hag staying at the club. This support has increased since the FA Cup victory, with fans hoping that the club will back Ten Hag in the summer transfer market. There's no doubt the Manchester outfit have failed to progress this season after a successful campaign previously, so it's certainly fair for a certain section of the fanbase to question whether Ten Hag is the right man for the job. Thomas Tuchel a candidate for Man United job. He's a front-runner to take over at Old Trafford. According to a report from The Guardian, Thomas Tuchel is a candidate to take over from Ten Hag at Old Trafford. The German manager is believed to be a front-runner, and United are said to be confident that he has the temperament to manage seasoned players. The former Chelsea boss recently left Bayern after they were beaten to the Bundesliga title by Bayer Leverkusen. The Munich-based side failed to win a trophy, with Tuchel now in the hunt for a new job. If Ten Hag was to be sacked, it wouldn't be a surprise to see the Red Devils push to secure the signature of Tuchel. Man United listen to Ten Hag over signing Olise and Frimpong. The Dutchman's future at Old Trafford is still in doubt, despite FA Cup success. Manchester United are listening to Erik Ten Hag's recommendations for the upcoming transfer window. The Dutchman has reportedly advised signing Michael Olise and Jeremie Frimpong. Manchester United are set to make a decision on Ten Hag's future soon as they hold internal meetings this week. Manchester United part owners Ineos are listening to manager Erik Ten Hag's recommendations regarding new signings, according to TalkSport journalist Anil Kandala. He revealed that Ten Hag suggested United should sign Crystal Palace winger Michael Olise and Bayer Leverkusen right-back Jeremie Frimpong in the upcoming transfer window. Despite lifting the FA Cup last weekend, the Dutchman's future at Old Trafford is still in doubt as Manchester United's board hold meetings this week to review the season and make a decision on the current manager. United have been linked with several names to replace Ten Hag this week, including former Bayern Munich boss Thomas Tuchel and ex-Chelsea manager Mauricio Pochettino. Brighton's Roberto De Zerbi also appears to be on the shortlist after terminating his contract at the Amex Stadium. Ipswich's Kieran McKenna was also among the candidates, but it seems the 38-year-old is likely to stay with the Tractor Boys following their promotion to the Premier League. Utter joke if Ineos sack Ten Hag. Man United's new owners can't afford to get sack decision wrong. As Manchester United look to resolve the managerial situation, the club is also keeping tabs on the transfer market. Reportedly, the Red Devils will have to navigate with a reduced budget after splashing out £407 million on new signings during Ten Hag's tenure so far. According to Kandala, Ineos are listening to the Dutchman's advice ahead of the upcoming summer transfer window despite the recent rumours of the 54-year-old leaving. He said, "I'm told Ineos are listening to Ten Hag's recommendations when it comes to incomings, Olise, Frimpong, etc., and outgoings. It would be an utter joke if they decide to sack him but still listen to his plans. If Ineos get this wrong, it could lead to another decade of difficulty." Manchester United are set to face competition for Olise's signature this summer after the French winger shone for Palace this season. Reportedly, multiple Premier League clubs are interested in signing the 22-year-old, whose release clause could be worth as much as £70 million. Bayer Leverkusen's Frimpong is also attracting interest from elsewhere as Manchester City are keen to bring back their academy graduate, who reportedly has a release clause worth £34 million, to the Etihad Stadium. Ratcliffe sets Manchester United transfer rules. No player over the age of 25 will be signed by Ineos ahead of the summer transfer window. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has introduced new Manchester United rules, according to The Sun writer Neil Custis. He explains that the Red Devils have set an age limit of 25 for new signings and are unlikely to splash out on big player acquisitions. Additionally, the United manager will only be asked what positions he would like to see the club recruit in, rather than suggesting particular names. This comes after Manchester United favoured Ten Hag's preferences in recent transfer windows, including signing the likes of Antony, Andre Onana, and Mason Mount. Thomas Tuchel, super keen on Man United if Erik Ten Hag leaves. Thomas Tuchel has been a name mentioned, with Manchester United potentially sacking Erik Ten Hag. Erik Ten Hag's future at Man United remains uncertain despite his recent FA Cup win. Thomas Tuchel is interested in potentially replacing Ten Hag at Old Trafford, according to Fabrizio Romano. Tuchel's experience in the Premier League makes him a strong managerial candidate. Erik Ten Hag's Manchester United future remains in the balance following his FA Cup final win over Manchester City at Wembley last weekend, with many tipping the Dutchman to stay at Old Trafford following their success over their local rivals, despite the Red Devils having a poor season on the pitch in all other competitions. And that could see Thomas Tuchel come into the role if he departs, with Fabrizio Romano stating that the German is super keen should there be a vacancy. Ten Hag's men finished 8th in the Premier League, United's worst ever finish, whilst an early exit in the Carabao Cup and a shambolic Champions League campaign that saw United finish bottom of their group saw the Dutchman looking perilously over his shoulder at an early exit. And whilst the final win over Pep Guardiola's City has instilled belief and European football back into the Old Trafford ranks, he could still depart, with Fabrizio Romano stating that Tuchel would look to put his name into the hat to take over. Thomas Tuchel, Manchester United latest. The German is out of a job after he left Bayern Munich recently. Writing in his daily briefing, Romano stated that United have already spoken with several agents to grasp a gauge of the managers available, with Tuchel being interested even without Champions League football on show at United next season. He said, "In case United part ways with Erik Ten Hag, there are several candidates that could replace him. The Red Devils have already spoken with several agents, but I can also say that Thomas Tuchel would be really keen on returning to the Premier League. Tuchel is super keen on coming back to England, and he knows that this is a new project at Old Trafford now, even if there's no Champions League for the club next season." Tuchel won the competition at Chelsea, of course, and reached the final with Paris Saint-Germain, but he'd still be really keen on taking the United job even without the Champions League. So, Tuchel is ready. Let's see what United will decide on the manager situation, but potentially the next days will be crucial to have an answer on that, and then they can prepare for the summer transfer window. Tuchel's Premier League experience could do him a favour. Tuchel's spell at Chelsea was commendable with a Champions League win. Tuchel is a manager that knows the Premier League and all of its trials and tribulations well. He took over from Frank Lampard at Chelsea when the Blues were struggling under the Englishman, and won the Champions League in his first 6 months at the club, going 14 games unbeaten and reaching the FA Cup final, where they lost thanks to Yuri Tillman's wonder strike for Leicester City. The following campaign saw them lose both domestic cup finals and finish third in the Premier League, which wasn't entirely an abject failure, but United fans would undoubtedly be over the moon with such a finish next season. And with Chelsea sacking him unexpectedly, the German likely still has unfinished business in England, with his exploits seeing him labelled as one of the greatest tactical minds. Tuchel is a manager who knows how to get the best out of his players, generally speaking, and with experience at other big clubs such as Borussia Dortmund, Paris Saint-Germain, and Bayern Munich, he's seen it all, which could play in United's favour. An underwhelming season at Bayern certainly hasn't done him any favours, but the excellence he has shown in England could be a huge draw for United in their hunt for a potential new boss.